Hi, my name is Nana and welcome to my channel, A Puzzling Lamb. Today I am, once again, reviewing a German puzzle brand. I think this is my third review video of a German puzzle brand. It's not a conscious decision I've made, but Germany just seems to have some really cool puzzle brands, and since they are my neighbor, they're usually pretty easy to get my hands on. So here we are. But today I'm going to review the brand Das Puzzle Kollektiv, which I believe started in 2021. And they have some really cool modern images, but what makes them a little bit extra different from other brands is that their, philosophy is that you should pass on the joy of puzzling by sending your puzzles out into the world when you've done them. So that means that with every puzzle you buy from them, you get a puzzle passport. So this is a really sturdy, nice piece of cardboard. And then you can see you can write the name of the jigsaw puzzle, the name of the owner of the puzzle, and then each person that does the puzzle can write their name and the date that they finished it. And then you can see there are room for 10 people to do the puzzle, and then you can mark off what to do when the passport is complete, if it's going back to the owner, if you start a new puzzle passport, or if the puzzle is simply a gift for the last one to fill out the puzzle passport. I think this is a great idea, and as I said, you get one of these with every puzzle you buy, but you can actually also buy this on its own on their website. I think it costs €1 or something like that. So you could buy an extra stack of these. So if you want to just start a new puzzle passport when this one is filled out, you can do that. But you can also add it to other puzzles in your collection that are not Das Puzzle Kollektiv puzzles. So I think this is a great idea. I don't know if I'm going to use it personally, at least not with their puzzles, because I'm too much of a collector. I'm not sure I want these puzzles to be passed on. I think I just want to keep them for myself. But you can use it on other puzzles, so I may put it in another puzzle I sell at some point. I think this is a really great idea. And now, before I get to the review, let me show you my collection of Das Puzzle Kollektiv puzzles. So I have 3 of the puzzles. They're all 500-piece puzzles. I bought these at the beginning of the year, I believe. So first, we have this one. So you can see the entire image on the back of the box here. Oh, sorry, like this. Really fun cartoon style image here. I think that one is going to be quite difficult, but it's only 500 pieces. Then we have this really beautiful one. Once again, the entire image on the back here. Really beautiful. And then the puzzle I'm putting together in this review is this one. Quite different from the others. Again, the entire image here. But when I got these puzzles, when I bought those, I also got this box top holder that they sell. This is made of wood from Germany, and it's FSC branded. That's what it's called, right? FSC. And I have used this ever since I got it. As I said it at the beginning of the year, and I love it. I use it all the time for all my puzzles. There have been few puzzles where the boxes couldn't fit in here because the box was smaller than the holder here. But really, I think 1 or 2 times that has happened. But I love it. Until I got this one, I just used some paper, cardboard box top holders I made myself, and they worked fine, but in time they got bent the wrong places. They were also a little bit flimsy. It didn't take much for the box to topple over. This is really sturdy. I also just like the way it looks. It adds a little extra luxury to your puzzle experience. And I know there are other brands that make stuff like this. I just haven't found any that were available to me. So I really love that they make this, and I use it all the time. I really recommend this. But back to the puzzle I'm reviewing today. This one, and going into it, I was not expecting this to be super difficult. Only 500 pieces, lots of clear sections to sort by, but I was also a little excited to see how difficult some of these more solid colored sections here would be to put together. But let's start the review and see how it went putting this puzzle together. I really like the design of this box. I love when brands do this, where it's only the image and nothing else on the front of the box. This way you can actually, prop the box up on a shelf like this and display it like a piece of art, and no one will ever know that it's actually just a puzzle box. I really love it. I also really like the size of this box for 500 pieces. I think it's really great. And the box is also really sturdy, and the surface is this really lovely matte texture with a slight linen texture. Can you see that? That might be a bit hard to tell on camera, but I really love it. It's not the entire image that's on the front. As you can see, it wraps around the side, which is a really lovely and pretty design, but it does mean that it's difficult to use the box as a reference. But I know there's a poster inside, so I'm not too worried. Taking a closer look at the sides here, you can see really simple, just the image wrapped around and the logo of the brand here. Nothing on this side. Again, the logo, and nothing on this side. Really simple and beautiful. And then on the back, here you have the entire image. A little bit too small perhaps to use as a reference, but since this is only a 500 piece puzzle, and since the art style is quite simplistic, is that what you'd call it? I think you could actually use this image as a reference. Now, everything in this box is in German, so it's not everything I understand completely. I can't quite remember what this says, but here you have an illustration with the logo in the middle. You have a QR code for the website, and it's just an illustration of the life of a Das Puzzle Kollektiv puzzle. So you can buy from their website, they ship it out to you, you put it together, take pictures, fill out the puzzle passport, package up the puzzle again, and send it on out into the world. And down here, I believe it just, explains these different kind of steps, and there's some, share on Instagram and things like that. Here under the image, you have the name of the puzzle and the artwork and the artist, 500 pieces, the size of the finished puzzle. I believe it says first edition, the year, art number, and just some brand information here. So I like this design. If I really have to nitpick here, then it perhaps would have been nice if all this information took up a little less room, and then since you don't have the entire image on the front, you could have this image a bit bigger. But again, since I know there's a poster inside, it's really not an issue here. So let's actually take a look inside. So here you see the pieces come in a fabric bag, and this fabric bag has a lot of certifications. Is that what you call? A lot of them I don't actually know what is. I should probably Google that. But I do, of course, recognize that it's fair trade. So I really love that. let's take a look at the pieces in a minute. First, let's see what else is in the box. So, oh, right. This was a note that came with my order. I just put it in this box. I really like a personal touch like this. And then you can see we have the poster. And I think this is a really nice size. You probably know by now, I hate those huge posters that some brands use. I really have no room for them. I have a really hard time using those as a reference. But this, I think, is a very nice size, and it also feels sturdy. So I think that when I prop up my box on my puzzle box top stand, it will be able to lean on it without falling over. So this is really good. I don't personally need the poster to be this big. I could have just had it this size, but I really don't mind this size. I think it's a really great compromise between those huge posters and a small one. And again, it seems like a really great quality. So let's take a look at the pieces. This feels like a really great quality bag, this. And I actually also kind of like that there is no branding on this bag. So if you end up hanging this puzzle and doesn't need the bag for the pieces anymore, you could use this for all kinds of things. You could even use it for other puzzles from other brands, and it doesn't have the Das Puzzle Kollektiv branding. I actually really like that. So the pieces here. Okay, first impression, no paper backing. That's a big positive for me. And then the surface of the pieces are matte, again, slight linen texture. Actually the same surface as on the box. So I really like this. It's not velvet like some matte pieces, but it is completely matte and it feels really great. And I also see that there are all kinds of different piece shapes here. Just so you can see here. So I really like that. And the pieces themselves, I would say this is standard thickness. Come on, focus here. Standard thickness, perhaps a little bit thicker than normal, but it definitely feels sturdy. Like, I think this is probably some of the most sturdy pieces I've ever felt. Yeah, I think they are a little bit thicker than standard. So I really have a good impression of these pieces. And it doesn't seem like there are any that are still stuck together. I mean, there are some where they've stuck together the wrong way. That just happens no matter what, I think. But they also is easy to take those apart without damaging the pieces. And yeah, it looks like all of them are punched out correctly. So there are no that are still stuck together. Now, puzzle dust. As you know, I don't mind puzzle dust, but I know there are a lot of you that do. Oh, here there are one piece that is slightly peeling here on the back. Oh, sorry. Here. But it's really just the very top layer here. And it doesn't look like there are any other pieces. Not that I can see right now. Anyway. Oh yeah, puzzle dust. So you can see here there are a little bit of puzzle dust, but it really doesn't seem like much. And again, I don't mind puzzle dust. And I don't think, if you really do, it's not my impression that there's so much of it that it would annoy you. Yeah, nowhere near Ravensburger amount of puzzle dust. So yeah, but I can tell a little bit more when I start sorting the pieces. And also you can see there are a little bit, perhaps you can see a little bit on my hands, but really now it's gone. So strategy. Let me take the poster instead here. So I think I'm just going to sort out the edge. This image would probably be pretty easy to do a full sort, but as you know, I very rarely do that. And since it's only 500 pieces, it doesn't take too long to just look through the pieces once I've done the edge. But yeah, I don't expect this to be very difficult. The most difficult part will probably be this woman's dress. It's almost solid colored, but again, only 500 pieces, so it really isn't too big of an area here. There's also a little bit of solid colored here, but even here there are some color differences between these two areas. I actually kind of think the most difficult part for me will be this here. I often find that solid colored sections are easier for me than really patterned pieces like this, sections like this, because with solid colored pieces I can really see the shape of the puzzle pieces, which kind of sometimes gets lost for me when there's a lot going on the pieces. But yeah, I don't know, when I've done the edge, it will probably be these red pieces that stand out the most. Yeah, they really pop here. Perhaps this green here, this pattern, really just taking it one section at a time. I don't think I'm going to time myself with this. I think that battle is lost. I really can't remember to stop and start the timer when I've taken breaks. I've tried a few times now. It's very rarely worked for me. So sorry if you want to know how long it takes, but yeah, I just can't seem to remember to time myself. But yeah, once again, the pieces seem lovely. Excited to see about the fit. That's really the only thing that could go wrong right now. The pieces really feel lovely. I really love the packaging. I love the poster. I love the bag. So yeah, I have a strong feeling that this will be a lovely experience to put together. this is my progress so far. And as you could see, I did end up sorting a little bit more than just the edge. I sorted the red and the green. Those parts, those pieces were really easy to spot. They really stood out. And as you probably also saw, I did have a few false fits in the edge down here, but it is the only place I've experienced it, nowhere else around the edge and nowhere else here in the middle of the puzzle, at least so far. So that's really not a big deal in my mind. And I must say these pieces are really, really lovely. They are extremely sturdy. I really think these are some of the most sturdy pieces I've ever experienced. And the surface is really lovely, matte, and nice to the touch. The fit is a little bit on the loose side, you can see here, but I really haven't had the need to move sections around too much, and it's not completely crumbly. I've experienced way looser fit than this, so it's really nothing I've noticed too much. As you can see here, it's worked really well with the box top in the box top stand, and then the poster is just leaning on that. That works really well. So yeah, overall, I'm really enjoying myself. I did fear this area a bit, but it was really easy. I mean, you can really tell when it's only 500 pieces. It really helps with the difficulty. I do believe that this area in 1,000 pieces would have drove me crazy. And it really wasn't an issue down here either, even though it is all red. It's not completely solid colored. There are a lot of color differences, and really there are not that many completely red pieces once you've filled in all of this rest here. Now, for my plan going forward, I think, I'll just take the poster here, I think that what stands out the most right now are all of these pink pieces. So the people, this vase, vase, whatever you call it, and then perhaps this beige color is probably next, or perhaps the brown. I think I'm going to do this dress at the end. So, and it will be exciting to see if there are any false fits here, because this is probably the most solid colored section of them all. But I'm not too worried. It really was only in the edge here. But let's see. And again, I haven't timed myself, but it really hasn't taken too long, this. I really love this artwork. A lot of sections to sort. Love the colors. Oh, yeah, and one thing I didn't check when I looked at the pieces at first is whether the color matches up between the box and the pieces, and really also between the poster here. And to my eyes, these colors are exactly the same. Here on camera, the poster perhaps looks a bit different, but really not in real life. That's just on camera. You can see if I take this away, perhaps see a little bit better here. Yeah, exactly the same color. So yeah, really the only slight negative thing right now is the loose fit. And let's see if this false fits here, if this is going to be a problem going forward. But overall, I'm really enjoying this, both the quality and the image. I just want to apologize that in the last part of my review I had awful lighting, so the colors did not match up to reality at all. I hope I can fix that a little bit in editing. But the last clip I showed with the completed puzzle, I had perfect lighting there, so that really showed just how beautiful the colors are in the puzzle. And first, let's talk about the difficulty level of this puzzle. And it was really easy. Of course, it being only 500 pieces helped a lot. And there were, as I suspected, knew from the beginning, a lot of different sections to sort by. And as I said in the intro, I was a little bit, not worried, but excited to see how difficult these solid colored sections were. But it was no problem at all. There were always a little bit of color difference. You can see, for example, this beige and that beige are actually different colors. In his shirt here, there were a lot of different colors. Even in her blue dress, there were some color differences. So you can see her arm here, that was more dark, and here there were a little bit of detail also. So it really wasn't a problem. And what also really helped was the piece shapes. There were varied piece shapes, and also just the innies and outies were very different. So it was very easy to look for a certain piece shape. And there were no false fits except for this little section here in the edge down at the bottom with her dress. But it was only that place, nowhere else in the edge and nowhere else in the image. So I don't know what went wrong right here, but it really was no problem at all. I did get a bit worried when I did this that there would be a lot of false fits, but there wasn't. So a very, very minor issue. Really no issue at all. And also, just the pieces felt lovely. The texture on top, it was matte, but there was still, a slight texture to it, and it just felt lovely. The pieces, the fit, were on the loose side. I would have preferred them to be a little bit tighter, but one of the reasons why I normally don't enjoy a loose fit is because you often lose that lovely click, snap when you put in a piece. But I actually still had that with this puzzle despite the loose fit, which helped a lot with making it not that big of a deal with the loose fit. And one thing that also makes me not too mad about it is that I think the loose fit will really help with the durability of the puzzle. So again, with this puzzle passport, the idea of these puzzles are to do them a lot of times, at least 10 times. And one of the downsides sometimes with a tighter fit is that the pieces tend to get damaged when taking them apart. I have tried puzzles where there are tighter fit and the pieces don't seem to get damaged, but still it will definitely help with the durability that the pieces are looser, which I think is very important with this brand specifically, since the point of this brand is to do their puzzles a lot of times. And also, these pieces are, I think, the most sturdy pieces, puzzle pieces, cardboard puzzle pieces I've ever seen. It really is quite impressive. And once again, especially important with this brand when they want you to do the puzzle this many times. I'm really impressed with the pieces. Kinda wish the fit was a little bit tighter, but I also understand why it's a good idea that they are not. And also, I have experienced puzzle pieces that had a way looser fit than this. You could still kind of move sections around, and it wasn't like it crumbled completely, just bumping into the table. So, again, I'm not too mad about it. Now, I want to talk about the brand a little bit more generally. So, as I said, and as you could see from my collection, they have some very modern images, and I'll show you some more of their puzzles here. They also have great variation in the art style, and I really love that. And also one thing I really love is that on the box there is the name of the artist, but on their website they also have a page with information about all the artists, including links to their websites and or Instagram page. So I really love that they focus on their artists so much, and I really love their curation of puzzle images. Now for the prices. They sell 500-piece puzzles and 1,000-piece puzzles, and the 500-piece puzzles cost 27 euros and the 1,000-piece puzzles cost 29 euros. So it's not a really cheap brand, but it's definitely not the most expensive brand either. I think the price is very fair compared to the quality you're getting. I really have no complaints on the price. And for shipping, I don't think they ship to all countries, but they do ship to a lot of countries. And the shipping price is dependent on the country and on the weight of the package. I'll put up the prices here, and I can't remember the specific shipping prices now, so you can see them here. And again, shipping, it's not super cheap, but that's just the nature of shipping to other countries. But it is, I think, a very standard price, at least the shipping to other EU countries. It's nothing extreme. It really is what I think is the standard amount of shipping to other EU countries. So no complaints there. So as you can hear from my review, overall, I'm really happy about these puzzles. I think this brand has a very cool philosophy. Again, that's the only word I can think of to use. They have a really cool concept and some really cool images and a great quality. So yeah, I definitely recommend them. And I hope I can get more of their puzzles in the future. I also hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. See you next time.